Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Million Dollar Media. I'm your host Max Kellerhalls, and with me today we have,
James.
Joelle.
And Adrian.
and today we are talking about the second biggest movie of the year, which is The Fantastic Four: First Steps, Marvel's 37th or 38th film to be released, and it's about their first family. That's its own little 60s retrospective, kind of like in the style of like Sid Meier or the Jetsons. And this is pretty much the Galactus arc from the comics. And various things happen, and also this is a story about a couple having a baby.
Family.
And yeah, I'll say this just to start off. I don't think I haven't really talked with many of you about my thoughts on this film, just to save it for the review. I think this is by far the best Fantastic Four movie we've ever had.
I agree.
I would agree that it is definitely the best Fantastic Four film.
Now,
It's definitely the most cohesive.
yes. Now,
Mhm.
judging by your tone, does that mean you liked it?
I liked parts of it.
Okay. This is going to be interesting. Okay.
You say that like there's tea, when really there's only just a couple things that really bothered me. So
Okay.
For me, I haven't seen the other ones, the other first couple. The only thing I've seen, I don't know which one it was, but it was when I was babysitting of kids way back in the day, and it was on the TV. I think my first experience with Fantastic Four, and I have no idea what was going on.
Very fair.
So most of my things are off like some comics I've just watched videos about, or just occasional things I come across.
Marvel Rivals.
Or Marvel Rivals. There are assets in that game that tell me a lot.
Jesus. Okay, yeah. If you've watched our last video, we did cover a lot of the Fantastic Four movies, and we also gave our thoughts going about what we were worried about going into this film. James, I have a couple questions for you.
Okay, fire away.
Specifically, you were worried about the interpretation of Johnny Storm.
It was better than I was expecting. I'll be completely honest. I think his interactions with Ben were great. I loved the pushing around and getting on each other's nerves between those two. I think that was so much better done than any of the other Fantastic Fours. I think the relationship between each one of them was done so much better in this film than in previous films. Except maybe arguably, I wasn't a huge fan of how much Reed Richards looked down on Johnny this film. But besides that, I think the one thing I will say, and I want to be careful with this because of the direction that the original Fantastic Fours took, I wasn't a huge fan of. But Johnny is supposed to be kind of like a hoe. He's supposed to like that's kind of who he is.
Well, yeah.
And and so I think they were a little bit more careful this time around, and I appreciate that. I didn't care for him in the originals. I think it's an upgrade for sure, but I don't know. I think the one thing that bothered me the most, because I'm really into languages, I really like linguistics. It bothered me how much of that language he understood and got a grasp of in such a short time with such limited resources.
Okay, wait.
That it was so unrealistic.
Explanation. This is kind of a spoiler, so I'll put a spoiler warning up here. In any other movie, I'll give the example of like Mickey 17, where they just kind of whipped a different language translating machine out of nowhere in the final act of that film.
Yeah.
I like that in this movie, they clearly showed there was a long stretch of time where Johnny was just solely focused on learning this language and making like a Rosetta Stone or trying to figure out her language. I can buy that more. And I like that they give Johnny in this movie, like, the thing I don't like about previous Johnnies is that you never really understand why he's on the team or he was sent up into space or in another dimension. The 2015 film kind of gave the idea like, well, he's kind of a mechanic, so that's why he's on the team. But the 2005 Chris Evans version, no way.
Yeah.
No.
But in this version, I'm like, okay, he's probably a good pilot. He's probably like he's just very handy to have around, and he is intelligent. Like, you have to have some level of intelligence to be on the team. And I appreciate that they were like, oh no, this is his thing. We always see Johnny as the guy who's constantly going after girls in all the other films. And I find funny in this is he sees the one girl that he can't have and he's like, I'm going to learn her language.
That's fair.
That's a different type of love right there.
Dude's cooked.
Literally.
Personally, I think I preferred this Johnny over the Chris Evans version. I still ended up in that kind of thought like, why is he actually on the team? Because he wasn't piloting. It was Ben and it was the robot
Herbie.
Oh, I can't remember.
Herbie.
Thank you. Ben and Herbie were the ones flying the rocket.
I could also just see it as nepotism.
Yeah, but like that's not new. That's not fun.
No.
Why would we do that?
At least they gave a reason why. At least like he has some intelligence in this version. That's what I appreciate.
Yeah, I liked the mechanic angle that they had in Fan 4 Stick.
Oh, yeah. And to be fair, I guess I just wasn't paying attention when they were like introducing themselves when they were astronauts. So I was like, okay, maybe they said what he actually is good at, but they kind of just more focused on like, oh, he's an eligible bachelor.
Yeah, that's fair. Something that I did like about that is that they really did play, oh yeah, he's the younger brother.
Yeah.
But he's everybody's younger brother.
Yeah.
That felt like a good dynamic.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who brought it up originally.
Yeah.
But like Joel or James, you brought up like his dynamic with Ben. I love the ongoing joke about what time is it.
Yes.
That was so funny. Like there's certain moments where like he'll just like look towards like Reed and Sue and just give like a face, just like a ha ha, like just fucking with them.
Yeah.
I love it. What about you, Adrian? Do you have any thoughts on Johnny Storm?
Johnny's here for a reason. He's actually smart. You know, they're not making him a dumbass. He has a spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that way, like with the piloting thing you guys mentioned earlier. I'm glad they gave him the arc they did, him learning a language. So, and then his character was really fun again, like that ongoing joke with Ben. And then you mentioned earlier the younger brother energy, which I definitely saw between Ben and Johnny. I appreciated his character. He's a lot of fun.
I think something to help his like intelligence level, I think would be upping just like what he, I think we all agree what he does and his intelligence in general, and then still playing on Reed Richards as seeing him as an idiot. I think that would kind of help elevate like both how smart Reed Richards is, how much he kind of looks down on Johnny, even if Johnny is really intelligent. And so I think that could be something that would actually benefit a Fantastic Four movie, is giving Johnny more intelligence and still having Reed Richards kind of look down on him.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I like that.
But I don't know.
I kind of want to go into one of my, just on the characters overall. I think the thing that I absolutely love about this movie, and they finally got it right, Sue, played by Vanessa Kirby. She's fantastic. I'm just going to say it. Pun aside, I loved this interpretation of Susan.
I thought it was a pretty good one. Definitely. They avoided the Jessica Alba thing. They actually gave her like motivations. Clothes, obviously. And I appreciated that. Felt like she was an equally contributing member to the team intellectually.
Like, intellectual stuff aside, I just like that, like, she's just a full-fledged character in this movie with her own fears and hopes and dreams, and she isn't just played to be, like, the girlfriend, the hot girlfriend, or the love interest. No, she's, like, damn near close to being the leader of the Fantastic Four. And, like, she runs the Future Foundation, which I really like that they added in this movie. What I think just helps her character so much, I mean, I did talk about the girlfriend thing, but like her chemistry with Pedro Pascal as Reed, I loved. I appreciate in films, especially like with Superman we had recently, is that they're allowing couples in movies to actually argue and not shy away from it, which I greatly appreciate, because like that is a thing couples do. They argue. But it's all about how they come back together and how they still see each other and how to work through these arguments and disagreements. And I thought they did that in a beautiful way in this film. Like, and I think Pedro Pascal to that. The thing about Mr. Fantastic is you can either make him a complete asshole because he's so smart, or you can make him a complete dweeb and kind of like a nerdy character. But I like in this movie that they nailed the line of like, he's a little awkward, but he's still charming to that degree. He still has this charisma to him. But I love that they played on the angle of like, because he's so smart, he only sees the bad in everything, and Sue is the one person that can show him the good. If this film does anything, it just nails the characters from the comics, and that I love. And that relationship, which has never been done right on film, is finally done right. I mean, Vanessa Kirby stole the show for me more, but like, I mean, Pedro Pascal is just a great actor in general, and I just think he nailed Reed. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a big spoiler. Like, the opening scene in this film is so simple in that it's just a pregnancy test, and it immediately got me interested and hooked into these characters.
I liked that they started off with, this is an already established family.
Yeah.
They did a good job of recapping what's necessary in the like video thing with the host.
Mhm.
Just saying that, yeah, this is an established family, and 4 years in, I agree with you.
The entire time that they were having those discussions, like how Reed only sees like the bad and everything, I came away from this movie and I'm like, this man needs a therapist. He likely has generalized anxiety disorder. He needs some meds or something, probably.
Yeah, I agree with you, but and I think that actually kind of contributes to the character
Definitely.
development, because man, they felt so real. Like, not exactly right, 'cause every married couple argues differently, but that felt like something that you and I would do. Like, that felt like a conversation. No, not exactly that conversation. We're not dealing with a
You mean
baby
that
stealing intergalactic being.
What do you mean we're not saving the world? I don't know what you're talking about. That's the state right now.
But like how each one reacted, the feeling that they're trying to communicate with each other, and they've gotten better at it over the years. But Reed Richards is so pragmatic, and it's hard for him to understand her sometimes, and it's hard for her to understand him sometimes. And I really felt like that came through in this, and I appreciated that because it felt like in so many films, it feels like the guy is so black and white that they can't see eye to eye, or she's so emotional that they can't see eye to eye. But this felt like they've been married for a while and they can communicate, but it's still difficult.
Mm-hmm.
She knew what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Because he knows how he thinks, even if she doesn't think the same way or agree with him.
Yeah. And that he'll have those thoughts and he'll think that way, but he still will fight against it and say that even though that's logically correct and everything in my being says that's the easy solution, he knows that that's not right. And he knows that that's not what he wants for his wife or for his kid.
I will say, the one thing that I think this movie is lacking just a little bit.
Hold on, wait. Before you continue, can we get Adrian's point real quick?
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to get his point of view on just like those two characters before we continue. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you guys basically hit on every single point that needs to be discussed with those two characters.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Y'all are on a roll, man. You knocked out every single point that needed to be. I just could be quiet, and you nailed it.
All right, Joel. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay, Max. You're just silencing women like every other time.
Oh,
damn right I am. This is the 60s. 60s.
We are not in the movie, Max.
What? What do you mean?
We're not in the movie. So, an area I think this movie is kind of lacking in. I wanted more of the dynamic between Ben and Reed and Ben and Sue. It felt like we were really mostly seeing Ben interacting every once in a while with the world and then interacting a lot with Johnny, kind of like as a side thing, pun intended.
I'm not disagreeing with you because I do agree. I wish we could have seen that more. I worry that might take away from the realism of how obsessed, rightly so, but how obsessed Sue and Reed are with the situation and their child, that they're not making time for, Johnny and Ben as much.
I get that, but I'm still sitting here like, Ben is a very full character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they were setting all of that aside for most of this. We did get flashes of him as a character just kind of like going about his day, being a normal person, or as normal as he can be. it felt like we were lacking how he fit into the team quite as much as some of the other Fantastic Four films. You know, like we get the very clear picture of he is a shield in the 2005 version, and we get the very clear picture of him as this bitter, betrayed friend just trying to figure out why in Fantastic.
Mhm.
And this one, it felt very much like
He's the cook.
he's the cook, he's the comedic relief, he's the person actually like going out in the public and talking to people.
So
Yeah.
is your complaint more so that we don't see, one, his relationship between Reed and Sue, and two, like him being, the thing and fighting more or being a shield more? Or...
I guess that my complaint is more that he feels very separated from the team, except for Johnny. He's there, and we know that he's there, and like they have these rhythms as a family, like the dinner, but it doesn't feel like he's involved in the process, like Johnny having that conversation with Reed about the designs for the new suits.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of nowhere, he also delivers the baby.
Well,
Well, did you trust Johnny too?
I'm just saying, Reed was right there.
he was comforting
Reed
her.
was right there.
Yeah, he was the comfort.
How
What, he
was
expects him to reach around and grab the baby with his other arm?
with his
Stretch it out?
stretchy arms?
I mean,
maybe.
he could
Yeah.
have. Also, why was there no blood?
Yeah.
PG-13.
Was the
I think
rating
that-
on this
I didn't
PG?
even.
PG-13.
Oh, boo-hoo, we saw blood in Endgame Infinity War.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, is the blood invisible now? Huh?
That'd be crazy. You just feel something warm, like the fuck.
I don't like it.
I don't
Put
like
it back.
I don't like. I agree with you that I think that there's not much of Ben in this movie. Unlike all the other Fantastic Four films, like they're all interested in talking about Ben Grimm because he's the most unique of them. Whereas this film is like,
Mhm.
I appreciate that they just didn't do a huge retread of just like, oh, he's upset that he has this condition, and that he's always.
Yeah.
But that is a part of the character in general. Like he is upset, and I think they got it right in those scenes of him just walking down the street and people kind of heckling him. Not in like a mean way, but just like, hey, what time is it? Like that kind of stuff. And like him being embarrassed to go into a synagogue, which I also appreciate that they actually addressed that. Yeah, Ben is Jewish.
Yeah. I noticed that. I was like, wait, Ben's Jewish, and they actually showed it.
Yeah, right? Like, and it actually adds to the character of like, it's not like he's abandoning his religion. It's just that he's not comfortable being in the presence and wanting to like, the family is the only people he really feels comfortable around. So that's why he always wears like a trench coat and a really big hat. So,
Mm-hmm.
and so in those scenes when he's talking to Natasha Lyonne's character, I really like that. Even though it's not Alicia Masters, which is weird. Apparently it's supposed to be based off Jack Kirby's real wife.
Okay.
Which, by the way, just on Jack Kirby real quick, this whole film is a love letter to Jack Kirby. And I appreciate that. Like, this feels like a 60s comic book come to life.
Yeah.
Just with less sexism.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
speaking
yes.
of, I
The
think
people who don't know.
I think I know what question you're gonna ask. Maybe I'm wrong. Ask your question.
You don't know me.
I'm literally married
Oh.
to you.
Anyways,
Oh.
who's Jack Kirby?
Oh, Jack Kirby is the co-creator of the Fantastic Four. He is the artist who drew a lot of the original Marvel characters, like the Fantastic Four were his creation. If you go over to DC, he created characters like Darkseid and New Gods. I think he also designed Captain America. I can't be too sure about that one, but he just any character that Stan Lee created, he should really be in the same sentence as that. There's been a bunch of controversy in the comic book community about how much credit should we give Stan Lee, because Jack Kirby did a lot of work in creating those characters and making them iconic. But if you ever look at like original 60s comic books, Jack Kirby's style was just all over. Like you would see it everywhere, and it's still referenced to this day. I immediately think of like the first Fantastic Four cover, the first Avengers cover, various Thor books, various X-Men titles. He's just a great artist, and he was a big proponent of like diversity in the groups. Like he really championed for Black Panther as a character and having an actual black character at the time. He passed away in the 90s, so he never really got to see like what Stan Lee saw with his characters blowing up. So it's nice that this film allows Jack Kirby to kind of like be recognized, but not like in a, if for like a comic book fan like me, like I recognized it, but maybe not for, as you said, like casuals like yourselves. There is, I'll say this is a quick spoiler, but in the moment where the Silver Surfer comes down, you cut to like two people in a comic book shop. Those are supposed to be Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. That's a nice cheeky reference to those two. You can look on the wall, and there's like various Jack Kirby and Stan Lee comic books on the wall.
That's cool.
This whole film is a nice love letter to the Fantastic Four. And if you watched our previous video, we talked about the film that was not released. Yeah, the actors from that movie are in this movie as cameos.
Oh, nice
Yeah, they finally get to be in a Fantastic Four film.
for them.
Yeah, they're like, you know, the moment we're in the movie, they're just like, thank you, Fantastic Four. They're like, all four of them are right there.
I love that.
Yeah, and apparently they're also in various other parts of the movie, and it's just like little bit roles. Yeah, no, like this whole film is just like a nice love letter to just Fantastic Four. Just want to go back to Adrian. Like, Adrian, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll go back to Ben. I do agree. I wish he had a bigger role. I would have loved it for him to get an arc because it feels like everyone else got one
Yeah.
except for him. So that's one of my big things with the movie is I wish we would have seen more of his story.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my probably my biggest irk about the movie.
I totally agree.
Do you mind if I asked a question that I thought you were going to ask, Joelle?
Sure.
Max,
Hmm.
when a woman is pregnant,
Go on.
in reference to the rotation of the baby, where is the baby's head supposed to be?
Well, ideally, you want the head coming out first, because if the butt comes out first, the head could get caught, and bad things can happen. I could be totally wrong. Oh,
No,
Well, you're correct.
no, you're 100%
You are
correct.
correct.
No, in that scene, okay, it was kind of a weird scene. It was fine, but it was kind of a weird scene where she just kind of makes her stomach invisible, and then like you see the baby. It was fine.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
complaining
thought
that was
kinda
there.
cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
All right, then we'll say it was cool because I'm fine. But it was, it did bother me that neither of them looked at the baby and went, "Oh no, it's upside down." All of those tests that Reed Richards performed, and he didn't see it was upside down.
Uh,
And so I theorized.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I told James this in the. You know that moment in the film where they're being chased by Silver Surfer,
Oh
and
no.
Silver Surfer like reaches into Sue.
Oh no.
I theorized that in that moment she was just like, whoop, flipping the baby around so that it would come out head first.
That's
My God.
so messed up.
So that's why there weren't any complications with the birth.
I mean,
I mean, there's a big stress factor, but you know.
yeah. No, black hole and everything.
Yeah, it's fine. I promise.
There's one little bit of that I find kind of fucked up and funny, but I don't really have anything non-spoiler wise. We talked about the characters, and we also spoiled some things, so we can move into spoilers. And I kind of want to start off the spoilers by talking about this character in general. But the funniest thing that I found is that somehow Galactus, with his the power cosmic, could just automatically look at a woman and go, "Pregnant, you're having it now."
Yeah, I thought that was a little odd.
I was like, Jesus.
I cast induced pregnancy.
I cast water break. Magikarp, you splash.
No, Max. Oh God. But Max, I thought it was gonna be like a Dragon Ball thing where it's like Whis, where he just magically makes the baby come out.
Oh.
That was gonna be one of those with either Galactus or Silver Surfer, but no, it wasn't. But that was like my first thought of what they were gonna do.
C-section?
A magical C-section, yes.
The C stands for cosmic.
Awful.
Yeah. Sure.
I just thought that was
Anyways.
a bit weird. I thought Galactus was awesome.
I have one qualm about Galactus.
What is it?
I agree. I think he was awesome. I loved how massive he was,
Yeah.
and the whole reference to him being billions of years old. I loved all that. It was great. My one qualm is that at a certain point, it kind of felt like he just stopped trying.
Yeah, I
Like,
know what you're talking about.
like Studio started pushing him. He's like, okay, I guess we're going this way, and there's literally nothing I can do to stop it.
Yeah.
I thought that just goes to show how powerful Sue was in that moment. Like, I thought that's what it was just trying to say. Like, he can't like break out of this.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminded me of like that urban legend of like the woman who lifts a car to save her baby. This is just that with cosmic powers.
That was exactly what I thought
Yeah.
watching it. So
Like, that moment didn't bother me. I will say, the one thing about Galactus that takes me out of the movie, but it's not the film's fault. It is purely a personal thing. The actor who plays Galactus, Ralph Ineson, looks like my friend Miko, just aged up.
Oh,
out of
boy.
The film. Every time I was watching it, I was like, that looks like Miko.
oh no.
Miko should absolutely cosplay as Galactus. I see it.
Bro, I'm just imagining the craziest stuff he would say as Galactus. Oh my god. It's not a good thing.
That's at least slightly better than every time I saw the like president of the Subterranea, Subterra
Mole
or
Man,
whatever.
yeah.
The
The
Mole Man dude.
Underminer!
Yeah, basically the Underminer. Every time I saw him, he looks exactly like one of my coworkers. And so now I'm gonna just roast my coworker unprompted one day.
I'm just glad they have Mole Man in a film finally. Like, of God, like, I mean, Galactus is the villain of this movie, but it's nice to actually reference other Fantastic Four villains. One of the controversies around this film is that, like, they cut John Malkovich out of the film. But he was supposed to be, like, one of the villains they fight in the beginning.
Why'd they cut him?
Time. I think they said, like, it was either... they said it was either time or for the story they wanted to tell about these characters, they thought it was just too distracting, and it just kind of was this big thing. Because the character he was playing was a character named Red Ghost. You see a little bit of it in the film, but like he has super apes who are like super smart and can like and are also super strong, and they fight the Fantastic Four. And that's why you see randomly in the movie Reed kicking an orangutan.
Yeah.
Which I saw this with my friend Allie, and I just wanted to ask her, like, what did you think of that? Like, I could not imagine just without of context seeing that and being like, why did Reed just kick an orangutan?
Personally, my only
they
thought
did
was,
mention-
this is a comic book.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they did mention it. I mean, they mentioned, like, Red Ghost and his super apes right before he kicked that orangutan, so...
That's fair.
They did say that. They did mention they're super apes that belong to a villain.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you take that clip out of context, like, why is he fighting a monkey?
Yeah, which I have. Some people have clipped that part, and I'm just like, what? It's just strange scene. But yeah, there was supposed to be more villains in the movie as just like bit parts and like to show how long they've been doing this. Because this isn't a year 1 or 2 story. This is year 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've been doing this for a while, which I kind of appreciate. I mean, I kind of like them just skipping to the story they want to tell.
I like that they had Mark Gaddis in the film.
That's nice. That is nice.
Who's Mark Gaddis?
Mycroft.
Oh, yeah.
Very fun.
Very fun character. Very fun actor. Very good character actor. I never thought he would be in a Marvel movie, to be real.
Oh, I definitely did.
I mean,
I'm like, let's see how many BBC Sherlock actors we can get into the Marvel universe.
Oh, yeah. I think we just need Andrew Scott. And technically another Sherlock actor is in this movie, just the Sherlock Holmes actor, if you really think about it.
I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the things that bothered me about this film.
Hmm.
I love RDJ, and I think a Dr. Doom would be great, but I want to see other Fantastic Four villains besides these same 2 Fantastic Four villains every single film.
I fully agree with you. I'm okay with them doing Galactus for this film, only in the fact that like we're finally doing Galactus right, and this is kind of like the Marvel Studios being like, we could do Fantastic Four right. This film is a really good movie that just retreads a lot of things that we've covered in previous movies.
Yeah.
So like if you're looking for like this brand new story about these characters doing something uniquely new, like going to a different dimension or something like that, that's not this film. Like this film is the Galactus story arc. It's similar to Rise of the Silver Surfer. I also say like I am indifferent to this version of the Silver Surfer. I think they only really made it the Shalabal version because they just were like, well, we need to give Johnny some kind of love interest.
That was exactly my thought. Yes.
Which I was like, you cowards, you should have made it the male version. Really piss off the internet. Adrian, you've been quiet. Is there any other thoughts, like spoilerly thoughts, you want to talk about?
I mean, if you want me to go into the ending, that's really my probably my second biggest thing about
Okay.
this movie.
What is it? Okay, go on.
It was way too predictable.
Yeah.
As soon as you started getting to that final act, you could predict like what was going to happen next, and probably the ending of this movie. It was far too predictable, and that kind of gave it away for me. But still, a good ending, just so predictable on my part. If you know the story, and like Galactus, you know this isn't the final time.
Mm-hmm.
Which again is probably on Marvel's part for releasing too many things.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's like my biggest trouble. I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. Oh, they're gonna save the baby here, and then oh, she's gonna come back because baby. And yeah, I saw that coming. Another thing about the thing, he didn't do fucking shit.
He did one thing. He hit
He
Galactus.
knocked on a building that was already falling.
And he did the clobbering time bit that just lightly knocked Galactus for a bit.
And that was also my biggest disappointment about him saying it's clobbering time. It wasn't loud enough like Captain America saying Avengers Assemble.
I agree.
Because I wanted it to be one of those moments where you could have the whole theater yelling it.
Yeah.
I wanted it to have that kind of energy, and it wasn't. It disappointed me.
That's fair. I very much agree with you on that. I think they could have done that better, but I still like the moment.
I think with that goes back to an earlier point. I'm not opposed at all to like Sue finishing him off or having that moment of, extra adrenaline or whatever, right? I have kind of an issue with one person in the Fantastic Four being able to stop him. Like it didn't feel like anything the Thing did really affected him. It didn't feel like anything Johnny did really affected him. In terms of that fight, those three kind of felt useless.
I mean, okay,
I could
here
see
was
that.
the thing that bothered me. Reed figured out that he could open up those little slots on his back and release like his energy.
Yeah.
Why didn't they keep with that strategy at all?
Yeah. And how did that one get closed? Because they don't show him closing it.
Auto close.
Yeah.
Like the doors at the store.
I would have been fine with that. If they had shown it automatically closing, I would have been fine with that. It's a safety precaution. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the fact that they didn't show anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was affecting him, and they didn't keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also kind of wish, because they did one little moment with the character, that they actually showed Galactus being intelligent a little bit more. Because most of it was just like, get the child and leave. And there wasn't really any strategy to what he was doing. I get it, he's a big guy, so he really doesn't have to think about how he's going to crush ants. But, like, I like the moment where he, like, clearly sees that this giant triangle with cautionary tape all around it.
Yeah.
Here.
It was so funny.
Like, and he's just like, really? Like, I like that moment. I thought that was pretty funny. But also, like, terrible.
Yeah.
Just like,
Okay.
who do you think I am?
But
Okay, yeah, keep going, because I forgot one of my biggest tropes. Keep going, I'll go after you.
I wish they would have had more moments like that to actually show, like, him using strategy and, like, instead of just, like, being a big... It's kind of like they were treating him a little bit like a kaiju thing, where I feel like the cool thing about Galactus is that he is intelligent. He's billions of years old.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought that was pretty... I will say, it is kind of, like, messed up funny. But, like, when he goes to, like, grab Franklin and Herbie's there, I'm like, they never show Herbie back. So Herbie just dies there. He is.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I mean, good on Herbie for trying to protect Franklin. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I wish they would have done more with, like, showing Galactus and his intelligence. Like I like the idea that he steps onto the planet, grabs some trees and sniffs it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I thought that was an interesting idea of like, oh, yeah, I mean, devour of worlds. Kind of, I legit thought he was gonna like eat it.
I was
Yeah,
totally
see,
prepared.
guys, even Galactus touches grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, man touches grass for the first time.
Okay, I want to go into my little issues I just remembered. One, he could have just beamed the Franklin into his ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
He could have just beamed it, because he beamed the ship and they couldn't even get out with a spaceship. How are they going to fight a tractor beam? Could have been the easiest 10 seconds of his life. 2, they nerfed the Reed's flexibility.
Oh yeah.
He's supposed to be super stretchy, but Galactus was pulling him like 10 feet and he was breaking. And then again, that, step here, freaking Looney Tunes freaking thing. How do you think he sensed cosmic energy? You just expected the fake empty carriage to fucking work? You guys are really the smartest on the planet. You think that would work?
My brother sent me like a funny meme about that where he says like smartest man in the world, Reed Richards, and this is the best plan he has, and it's a picture of like a box with a stick propping it up and an orange.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is, and that pissed me up so bad. When I first saw that scene, I'm like, really? That's your plan?
I mean, to be fair, if that's the last ditch effort, because they did show like he was thinking of like all these different things, even the one where it's just like, hey, we're gonna move the Earth over here. I'm like, there are like thousands of things that could go wrong with that.
Okay, but think about this: a little theory overthinking me. They could have just put a teleporter inside the baby carriage and teleported him away when he was grabbing or teleporting Galactus. Because they can do an egg and they were trying to do the planet, so why not just do it to a baby? What are the risks?
A lot of risks.
Lower than the planet.
Exactly. See?
Here's my thing. When he was doing the experiments with the egg, there was a portal at both ends. We didn't see him do
That's fair.
experiment where there was only a portal at one end. And so I was watching them do the portals all over the Earth to do, like, moving the planet. And I'm like, how are they going to control where they're going?
That's a really great point.
Yeah. Well, I think the coordinates were just being set to furthest away that we can. I think that was the main thing.
Respectfully.
Uh-oh.
I know what he was saying, like, hey, we can't destroy him with normal means and stuff, right? Okay, all right, I hear you. I propose hydrogen bomb.
Just feed it to him,
Stick it in the baby carriage.
Crying baby versus nuclear bomb.
Who wins?
We are getting demonetized.
Like, I get it. He's intergalactic, super big or whatnot, right? But like, you throw a hydrogen bomb at his spaceship, that's not just gonna like dink off, right? How many hydrogen bombs do we have between the U.S. and Russia? Not one. That's for sure.
They could have been making multiple in the span they were making the teleporters.
You know what?
It could have been a side job.
Yeah.
Fraction of the price.
Oh, real quick, I just got 2 more things to say about this movie, then we can wrap this up. One of those things is I understand why they had to do this, but the CGI baby took me out a lot of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh,
That
is not a baby.
That is a PNG.
No baby acts that good.
No. I understand that there are limitations to filming with infants, and I get it. I don't know. It's the fact that we know what babies look like. Like, I can understand Galactus and the Thing looking a little weird, but they looked great in the movie. Like, okay, that feels real. That baby, no. That just bothered me, and it kind of took a lot of the emotion about like me giving a shit about this kid, because I'm like, well, it ain't real.
Also, the fact that baby aged like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, 1 minute it's actually a baby, and then they get home and it's 2 years old.
Speaking of that baby aging, we got to talk about the post-credit, obviously, because it's a Marvel film. Don't stay till the very last one, in my opinion. I think it's fun. It's kind of cute, but it honestly...
Offers nothing.
The first post-credit scene, or the mid-credit scene, I should say, is the one that has actual story to it. So it's another 4 years after the events of this movie, and baby Franklin is now toddler Franklin. And Sue goes to pick out another book, and when she comes back around, toddler Franklin is with Doctor Doom, or what we assume to be Doctor Doom, because he's wearing a green hood and he has a silver mask. And this raises a bunch of questions for me in this movie, as in, well, obviously this is either the Doctor Doom, who's played by RDJ, but is he this universe's Doom or another universe's Doom? If it's this universe's Doom, why the hell was he not involved with saving the world?
Yep.
That is all. The point of Doctor Doom's character is that he hates Reed, and he will do anything to get one up on him. So I call bullshit in the idea that he would not want any involvement in saving the world, or at least be a competitor in saving the world. You know what I mean?
Now, I can offer one alternative that I think would fix that. The only thing that I can think of is next film we see that they do know him, and there's a flashback to him. He is on the spaceship with them, but the world is so focused on those four that you never see him.
That's fair. But I just also think they make a point in this movie multiple times to show that the seat of Latveria is not there. And they show the country's flag and the tag saying Latveria. And they make a point to be like, oh, Dr. Doom tease. So I'm just like, well, okay, he's involved in this world somehow. I just don't know if this is going to be the one that's going to be going into Doomsday and played by RDJ. And I think this is just a big missed opportunity because the whole thing online right now about this casting is like, it just feels weird. Like, I think Robert Downey Jr. is going to give a great performance, no doubt. It's just like the CG baby thing. It's going to be like, I am looking at Iron Man here. So
Yeah.
I think this movie would have given them a chance to at least be like, hey, you get to see a little bit of how he's going to do this performance so that it can ease us into the next movie. And that way we're not totally distracted. A show did this recently for me called Andor, where they had a big recast, and before that character had any real plot involvement, they had him show up for a brief moment in a previous episode just to be like, hey, it's me. And they just kind of move on with it so that the discussion the week before those episodes come out would just be, oh, they recast him. And then when they go into his actual story arc in the show, that's what they're talking about. I think they could have done that in this film where it's like, hey, let's get all of the confusion and distraction out of the way. That way, when we get to Doomsday, we're not as distracted. And I don't think it's this film's fault. I think it's just the overall story that they're wanting to tell at Marvel right now with Doctor Doom. That I'm just kind of like, you had the perfect chance to actually set up Doom in a Fantastic Four film in an interesting way, and you kind of blew it. And now you're just going to bum rush it in an Avengers film with all these different characters.
That's fair.
I don't know if you guys have anything to say about it, because it's really a brief moment in the film, but I just have a lot of thoughts on how they handle Doctor Doom.
This is just The Incredibles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is just the moment with Jack and Syndrome.
I see it.
Okay, but there were so many incredible moments.
Yeah, like they nailed the married vibe.
Mhm.
They have the annoying
kids,
younger brother.
you know?
Yeah.
The powers are switched around, but they're all
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
For the most
Close.
part.
Yeah.
Close.
The
The Underminer. I mean, Mole Man. I mean, the Miner. I mean,
Mhm.
Exactly. This is maybe that was why I like this movie, is because it just reminded me of The Incredibles, and I love The Incredibles.
Also, one more thing. Michael Giacchino did both the scores.
Oh,
that's excellent.
that's great. That's great.
This started as a joke, and then it was real.
The Incredibles were based off of the Fantastic Four,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they
It's
even
all just
they
a
even
big circle.
asked Michael Giacchino, like, hey, how does it feel to do the score for the Fantastic Four? And he's just like, honestly, it was really challenging because I have already done this before, so I have to make it entirely unique for this film.
Mhm.
And I like the score in this film. I think it's really fun. I mean, the Fantastic Four, that's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's just a really cool score. Honestly, I thought the original post credits for this movie was going to be the opposite angle of the Thunderbolts one, or heading towards.
I totally forgot about that.
So I was like, okay, what's that about? Because I was like, okay, that asks a lot of questions. And I guess what it's implying is like Doom must kidnap this kid, and then they're just universe hopping to go find him, and they just are going to be going into the main 616 universe. Like, I thought it was going to be like the reverse angle of that, where they land and they meet the Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but
Honestly, I think that would have been better than the post credit scene that we got.
yeah,
Agreed.
I understand that you don't want to have your post credit scene overshadow your film, but I think this film was strong enough on its own, just as it is, that you could have had a stronger post credit scene than this. Because honestly, this does not get me hyped at all for Doomsday. Like, this doesn't prove anything. Like, the one in Thunderbolts got me excited because I was like, ooh, this asks a lot of questions. This one just is like, well, it's Doom. What does he want with the kid?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
And like they could have taken advantage of that second end credit scene to have them land with the
Yeah.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
And they kind of just squandered it on like this
I mean, it was-
fun, I guess.
It was cute. Like,
I think what bothered me the most is that we had literally seen that clip earlier in the film.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, what would have been really funny is if like they turn off the TV and it's the Thunderbolts watching.
Yeah.
Mm.
That way, it's like
I
that's
would
how
have
they
been.
know
I would have been
about.
totally
Like,
okay.
that's how they introduce themselves. Like, yeah, we're the Fantastic Four. They're like, the what? And they just like, here, watch our cartoon.
I would have paid good money. I'm not gonna lie, to see the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four just sitting around on the couch inside of Red Guardian's house, like with no space, watching that.
Hmm.
That would have been fun. I think that would have been a much better like post-credit scene, and that would have gotten me hyped because I'm like, I love Thunderbolts and I love this movie, or I like these characters. That would have been the fun little thing to do, but it just was like, no, it was Herbie that turns it off. I'm like,
It's not in our budget. It's so much money.
well, here's the thing: like the Russo Bros directed the post-credit scene for this movie, as they did with the last one for Thunderbolts. So that's gonna be a scene in Doomsday. Because I feel like they're now putting a lot of pressure on the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday to be like the first bit of Doctor Doom we're going to see as Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. And so now we're all going to be looking at that trailer. And if that trailer sucks, oh boy. I want them to get Doom right. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I also think
Yeah,
another theory
fair.
that I have is that that's not Victor. It could be one of his Doombots or acolytes because you never really see his face.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
the Franklin was touching his face though, so
That's true.
he could have been like touching his scars or whatever.
Apparently, I don't know. I've heard a rumor, and it's
Hey,
only a
what-
rumor, that they're not doing the scar thing.
Uh,
Which I'm like, that's
Boo.
the whole point.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the mask.
Yeah. And like,
But RDJ wouldn't be as pretty.
I mean, he's not ugly, but he's not like Chris Evans.
Someone
or-
passed the great test.
I love
Oh.
RDJ. I just want to say.
Anyways, I just don't see how they're gonna do something different with him. It always feels like RDJ is just playing the rich jerk.
I mean, that's what Doctor Doom is. If you want to simplify.
I mean, yeah. I feel like his performances in Oppenheimer and the show Sympathizer, he has a great sense of range with his characters that he plays. Like in the Sympathizer, he plays like 5 different people. I think he can do it. I have no doubt that he'll give a really good performance. I'm just more worried about story reason why of like how much are they going to play up the idea that, oh my god, it looks like Tony.
Yeah, I want them to do that so bad.
And I think with the different dimensions, it's totally plausible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I also don't want it to be that the only thing that makes Doom interesting. I mean, if they are canon to how Reed and Doom are in the comics and they hate each other and this rivalry, that makes the dynamic between the Fantastic Four and Doom interesting. So the only reason why the Avengers are at all invested or have some kind of thing with Doom in the movie is that he looks like Tony. And that's kind of a mindfuck of like, this is a guy who looks like our friend who died saving the world. So I don't know. I understand it. It's just, and honestly, if the worst thing in the movie and the biggest game-breaking thing for the film is a post-credit scene, I think the film in general is okay. I think they did it right. Like, I can't wait to rewatch this movie again. I had a lot of fun watching in the theater. I highly recommend. I don't think it's as good as Superman, but I highly recommend you go see it. If you're a fan of Marvel, if you're a fan of the Fantastic Four, if you're a fan of comic books, go watch this movie. Is there anything you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
I mean,
Nope. I think we covered it pretty thoroughly, actually.
I would
Yeah.
say so, yeah. All right. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. If you want to hear more of our thoughts on Fantastic Four in general, go watch our previous video where we cover every version of the Fantastic Four in film in our retrospective, which was done by me, Joelle, and James. So go check that out. We're going to have a bunch of videos coming out soon regarding films that we missed over the summer. So like K-pop Demon Hunters, How to Train Your Dragon. I also have a review for Jurassic World Rebirth. And one other thing, please subscribe to our Patreon. I'm wanting to get that going again, just so that we can have money to do more things on the channel so we can, put out content and actually do some really cool stuff.
Stay tuned for what's gonna go on the Patreon.
I'll probably make a video about what we'll put on there. But yeah. I've been your host, Max Kellerholz, and with me today we had
James.
Joelle.
And Adrian.
like, subscribe, and share, and I hope you all have a good day. Bye.